welcome everyone. I guess, as always, just going back through and reviewing last week's game with Texas. A tough loss, a disappointing loss. Though I was very proud of the efforts and and the play of our players overall, just came up short. And compliments to Texas and congratulations for a well played game as well and winning. In the end, I thought we played a super defensive game to have gone out in the field positions that we had and to come up with the stops that we did, some of the turnovers, all of that. I thought we really gave ourselves a great opportunity to win. Though I still feel on the one touchdown drive, there's a play or two that I just believe in our basic discipline we could have been a little better that possibly could have helped and gave us a better opportunity to win. And then offensively, I thought our guys did a good job, a really good job, especially in the first half of moving the football. We had a bunch of yards and we're very creative in how we did it. But in the end, we weren't successful enough down in the red zone, only coming up with 6 points, and we also had a turnover down in the red zone, so we needed to be better in those areas to give ourselves a better opportunity. But, Texas has an excellent defense as well, and they made a lot of good plays too. But in the end, it was, it's very difficult to run the ball the way they load the box and the physical nature of how they play it up there. But I thought we did a nice job moving the ball around and getting the ball into Marco Murray's hands and making big plays. Outside of that, but again, just needed to be 3-4 points better and weren't able to. I thought our kicking game was really solid and good. Our cover units were great against some really good, return guys, and but again, that needed to be a play better. We have one missed field goal, so it's kind of that way across the board. We needed to be a little bit better, and we weren't able to be. Some guys that really played well, guys recognized defensively. Jeremy Beal with 11 or 12 tackles was sensational. All our front four guys, Austin English had a huge game with a couple of sacks, a strip fumble. Gerald McCoy, again, was outstanding, and Adrian Taylor was really good. Those guys. And Brian Jackson was cited, too, for having an exceptional game. Really had a lot of bump and run one-on-one coverage with Shipley, and who's an excellent receiver and really did an outstanding job. And so those guys. And then offensively, Brody Eldridge moving in the guard had a great game and, and graded out at a winning level, along with DeMarco Murray, again, having a big day. So now we're and Sam Bradford, I guess, to address that, of course, disappointing to have gotten pinned or trapped in the same position is just, very unlikely, but it's happened. Similar, again, injury to what was before. The MRIs and X-rays show no different damage than what was already there. So his path will be determined here in the next couple of days. Likely to have Sam just available probably tomorrow after practice just to answer questions and address that for a few minutes after practice tomorrow if we are detailed in what the plan will be and everyone's getting closer to that. So I won't comment other than we'll wait for tomorrow until things are decided and let Sam visit with everyone about that as well. Going on to KU, going up to Lawrence this week, another ranked team on the road. Their Coach Mangino, a great friend of mine, but also a great coach. He and his staff have done a great job of consistently having KU, whether it be in bowl games, consistently competing for the North Championship and consistently winning. And so we realize it's another big challenge, and they've got some exceptional players. In particular, you look at their trio of guys on offense, with Briscoe, Reesing, and Meyer, really a great group of players. And they got a lot of other guys around them to complement them well. So it'll be a big challenge, but our guys yesterday everyone's wondering, had a great attitude. There's nobody hanging their head. We had a great day's work, and they're excited to come back here again today and continue to push forward.
You going to keep Eldridge at guard?
We'll see how this week goes, but that could happen, and he did a nice, really good job in there.
throughout the year, different receivers have stepped up at different times. How frustrating has it been that, for the most part, you haven't been able to find 3 or 4 guys that can be consistent outside of just 1 or 2?
Well, sometimes it's how they're defending you too, but we were fortunate to have Ryan back for a good number of plays last week, and again he comes up with a big play, and we're just got to keep working with the other guys to keep pushing for improvement. They're practicing hard and they're working for it.
What goes into a risk reward on punt returns? And I ask this because after the Orange Bowl in 2004, when Mark Bradley made that mistake, you said that's as bad as it gets. You go to Colorado game, Reggie Smith made a similar type mistake. Dominique Franks made one the other day. Fielding a bouncing ball and dropping back inside the 10. There's been a lot of that.
Yeah, it's poor decisions. There's nothing you can say about it. It's one thing fielding. You have a clean hop with no one around. Yeah, you got to make that decision. And with someone barreling right next to you, it's not a good decision. Or to cut back inside the field. If you're going out of bounds and it's going out anyway, then that's a different deal. But not to come back in bounds.
How do you get them to stop doing it?
You hope they learn from mistakes.
Fill it into them in practice and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd take some suggestions if you got something else other than don't do that. And let's look at the results. They're not foolish. They see the results aren't good. They have to have the discipline to make the right decision.
Isn't there like 2 or 3 cardinal rules for a punt returner to not do, and that's go inside the 10 and field a bouncing ball,
or to muff one, or to fumble one, and yeah.
Anybody else to do that, to return?
Yeah, Ryan Broyles.
He'll be healthy enough to do that.
Hopefully, but he wasn't last week, obviously, or we didn't want to take the chance on it.
But the original question was about risk reward. When Dominic gets his hands on it and he's going in the right direction.
Yeah, but again, it gets back to what I said earlier. If he's got room, you field the ball and you make a move and you go. If the guy's on top of you, you don't. And I don't know any other way to explain it to you. That's what it is.
What I'm getting at is if you take him out or replace him, you're getting away from those 40 and 50-yard returns.
Well, I feel Ryan is capable of those kind of plays too, and Ryan may have a little more experience, or maybe will make better decisions back there. He has, and that's why he's there.
What about the health of DeMarco? How close to him?
He's still limping a little bit, but it's coming around, so we'll see. Ankle. Yeah. So that's something we'll just have to address as he goes through the week, see how comfortable he gets with it.
You don't think it's going to be tough to rally this team with the disappointments this year?
I don't. These guys have worked hard. Yesterday's attitude was fantastic. They understand where, regardless of our circumstances, here are some ways that we give ourselves a better opportunity to win, and there are ways that we can do. Just taking care of the football is one of them. And I just never believe a guy, once he has his hands on the football, without some kind of knockout hit that somebody comes up with, should drop it. And I tell them all the time, I'd rather go down with the ball and you not get those extra 4 yards and still maintain possession. So we got just some things like that we can be better.
As you look at your team and where it is right now, what's the one biggest thing that you hope they can improve on the most as the second half of the season begins and goes on?
Probably overall, just there isn't one thing. Everything needs to continue to improve. When you talk about there's one area here or there, it's in all phases. You can be a little better. So, I think a major issue is, but we haven't had a lot of turnovers this year. So, but the last week you having 5, that'll beat you, especially 2 in the kicking game.
The offensive line, the continuity has not been what you would hope. If I'm putting words in your mouth, forgive me, but offensive line, is there a time at this point that you'd like to settle it in, or is it just going to be?
Well, once you settle it in and it's not real effective, how do you settle in? You have to keep competing, and it isn't like just because you keep the same 5 guys in there, everything's harmonious. These guys all practice together and rotate in and out through practice, and that's not a problem. Now, it's a lot better when you got 5 seniors who played 4 years together and they don't need to rotate in and out, sure. But when you got guys that are playing inconsistently or don't have that kind of experience, you need to keep competition going, and the guys that are playing the best play.
Have they struggled because of a lack of experience or a lack of talent?
Well, I probably the third area would be also it's sometimes in who they're going against. So all three together, there's a little bit of everything.
You're saying the level of competition is
Sometimes makes a big difference, sure.
Would you rather have a lighter schedule and be undefeated, and have a better chance of being undefeated, or take on the type of schedule you have now?
I'm not going to go there. I'd rather have the schedule we had and be undefeated, but we're not. So you fight through it, and you keep working towards, the next game. That's all you can do. So in the end, our philosophy's been this way for a good number of years, and 1 year now it hasn't worked very well, and I'm not going to go questioning it. So.
Who back up Landry?
Well, Drew Allen and John Nemo both, but Drew Allen's the next guy.
So if you had to make a change, if Landry would get nicked or something, you'd pull Allen.
Circumstances would determine that, but
Sam won't be available. He won't dress.
no.
Okay.
Are defenses playing you different when Sam's in the game than when Landry's in the game?
Not really. I don't see it that way.
Does it, with your offense struggling and everything, do you want to keep the pace as high as you did say last year when you had better talent, or would you ever think of maybe slowing things down a little bit?
Well, again, it depends on what we feel is the right thing to do. I thought, last week, a good part of the game, it was very effective. I mean, we're talking about our offense struggling, and we've got 300 and, some yards, and they've got 260. But in the end, they win, so their offense was good, and ours was struggling. So I thought we did a nice job, and the tempo helped us. So it just depends on when the tempo's helping you and when it isn't. And I think there's times to consider maybe not, but in the end, to this point, I don't feel that's been an issue.